What do you think? Who is more force sensitive, an Among Us crewmate or Obi-Wan Kenobi? Hey everyone, this is Squirrel Stampede. You are watching and I am Dan. Thank you very much for being here today as we are going to review the Series 2 action figures of Among Us from Toikido. This is the series that I believe was after the large scale Stamper series but before the Capsule series, but continuing on with the scale of these are here. I don't know, there's been a few different sizes, so it's hard to keep these all in order, but if you want another assortment of great color for your Among Us crewmate collection, here you go. More hats, more costumes, more suspicions. Let's get right to these and see what they can do.
Squirrel Stampede!
So it's Series 2 Among Us action figures, and there has been several scales. Let's refresh real quick. Series 1, we had checked out the Red Devil crewmate, the Yellow Apple crewmate, the White crewmate, and the Black Viking horned hat crewmate who appears to be on a mission right now. Where did he go? So that action figure scale, not to be confused with the larger Stamper action figure scale. You can see here this original orange is a little bit taller and a little bit more stampy with the little crewmate stamp bases. Not so much action figures. Then of course, not to be confused with the Capsule series where you could actually open them up and find different pieces and surprises inside. This series, I believe, is still my favorite. It just had that Among Us surprise room feel of what is inside the box, what sort of strange pieces and items you will find, and the absence of the hands just look a little more correct. Good scale too with these. Those are usually typically found here in the mystery capsule boxes. This scale though has a second series, but with this series we have a stronger, clunkier figures with hands and heavier accessories. They're a little more durable and can take a pounding. And I do like the boxes with this set because you can simply place them back. It's kind of what I did and then display that way. So let's start with this one. Where'd my X-Acto knife go? What? Thanks, Huggy. Huggy? Oh, that's not good. Well, let's start off with the orange crewmate with that could be a Roman helmet. There's the orange crewmate out of box, and that is right, I had forgotten there are two different hand sets that you may use. We've got the finger point hand, and you just press them in like so into their body. We've got a fist, and we have two open hands. I like to call them the force push. Hello there! Oh, look, here it's an old-fashioned force-off with Obi-Wan Kenobi! Oh, Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan is a little rusty today, but we'll get him back up on his feet. So yeah, interchangeable hands, and I'm not really sure how I feel about that, as they're always the same hands with each figure, I think. And then when you're not using them, it has a huge gaping hole in the front of the crewmate suit. So that's a little odd. I guess they were thinking with action figures, you need to have something to hold on to something. So we have our crewmate gladiator Roman style headpiece, and we can place on top like so. I have mixed results with all these accessories. Sometimes things fall off, but there you go with your Roman gladiator style helmet and or cheese. So if you're big into orange crewmates and cheese, this is your guy. Let's go with the green crewmate next. I really like the velocity of color coming out of that one. Plus it has a pretty flower on top. Also with the 4 interchangeable hands, with this one I'm going to go with, once again, the pointed finger. I like that one. It's not me, it's that guy. And an open force push hand. We have choices between a crown, which is kind of offset back on the headpiece, which I like a little bit, and actually snugly fit with this one. So we've got the crown piece looking pretty good, and the flower headpiece, which, it's okay. It's also offset, makes for a friendlier crewmate, but I think I'm going to go with the crown. I like the crown best. But besides from these hands coming off, these are quite solid plastic hunks of crewmate. Oh, lost a hand. Some of the pieces again will kind of fall off if you don't get them snugly pressed in. Hello there. Aha, I see Obi-Wan is back for a rematch. Going with the force push, and Green King goes down. Well done, completed training, Obi-Wan. These two certainly look good together though, don't they? The orange and the green, they're so colorful. So what will balance well with these two? Probably the Cyan. Let's see the birthday hat Cyan. Curious what the other accessory is in this box. I think it's a banana. Let's see what it is. Cyan crewmate gets a little bit lost in my blue background there, but all of these you can see are pretty much the same. So you kind of got to pick your favorite color crewmates. There's no need to pick them all up unless you're crazy like me, but we've got a force push hand option here. I like that one. And let's go with the fist on this one. And of course, we have the finger point and the other open hand if you would need those. So let's celebrate the birthday, although maybe not really birthday, probably more wizard hat. What do you think? Is that more wizard hat or birthday? I can't remember what it would say. There is a traffic jam yellow and white striped cone hat in the store, but that's traffic jam and it does not have a star. It's a pretty good one though for heightening. Look how tall he is compared to these two. And of course we've got the banana. Let's test the banana out. And it just splats so on his head. I'm gonna have to go with the banana just because of the way it is sculpted around the crewmate's head. That looks great. And our final crewmate for Series 2, we've got the purple, and it is not suspicious or in the process of killing. Purple crewmate with a pink mohawk, and I think it may have a sword accessory. That's interesting. Okay, here's our solid body purple crewmate ready to go. Let's add some arms and accessories. I will do an open hand and a finger point, and I'll pass on the fist and the other open hand. So we have two options for hats. We've got a crewmate mohawk, which is nicely sculpted around the back of his crewmate suit. Pretty spiky, pinkish, a little bit of grayish on the bottom there. Looks a little sus. And then we have a sword hat. I was hoping this would just be an accessory, but it is a sword going through the head of the purple crewmate. I think I will definitely go with that style. That looks pretty painful. I wish more of them had something like that. Just kind of an oddly placed weapon. Although again, I was really hoping for an accessory pack with this one. I think it would have worked better for this series in the long run if they had accessories to hold on to and use. It's not like we have to match the exact gameplay with these, and character play would have been more fun with some accessories they could hold on to and interact with, instead of these odd hands that pop out and look oversized. A little bit ridiculous. At least I can kind of have him hold on to this sword. It's not tight though. He may drop it. But it is a funny hat piece. I like that part of it. So there's your Series 2 collection of crewmates, and with these series added to your first series, you've now got 8 crewmates, which is a pretty good collection of color. You can add in the red and the yellow and the white and black wherever that one went on me, and create a pretty good Among Us recreation. Or you just pick up your favorite couple colors. But now let's confuse ourselves a little more, as there is another Series 2 pack of crewmate here. More Toikido packs. This is a monster pack here. A monster scale size pack. These are looking much larger, and I'm not really sure why. It's Series 2 labeled. I don't remember seeing Series 1 of this style unless we're talking the stamper pads, and these aren't stamper pads. We're on the airship with this one, and on the back the most exciting fine print. Inside the box there is this nice background sheet of the conference room, which I kind of like. It's flimsy, but if you're careful you can recreate it. Here's our red crewmate, and whoa, glossy. They had one job, make sure these stand. What? I don't even know. What is that? We'll get back to that in a second. Let's get the hands on. One job, the most important job in figure design is, can they stand? And I don't know how many times toy companies fail. Test out how they stand. Okay, with the arms, he's holding a little better, and these hands are really clunky. I can only get them in about halfway. What's with the double pointing fingers? That's just odd looking. Pew, 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 pew. Yeah, and the green gnome hat on this one. is removable, thank goodness, because I don't really like the green hat on this one. But what is the deal with the torso section? You can kind of open it. Oh, there we go. It's the bone. So we've killed him. Too bad they didn't paint the bone. I thought it was a tongue or something at first. And I'm amazed that was able to actually remove from the hole here without getting stuck. Kind of a hard, softish, weird plastic, rounded, so I guess that's why it slid open. Super glossy with this one, and the scale is much taller, so I'm totally not into this series. It's too large and clunky. The main reason why I really picked this one up was the sculpt of the blue one, as the blue one is a ghost. And I think this is our first action figure of a ghost crewmate. Although I think we did see some in those knockoff crewmate block sets. So we've got a little ghost tail on the back of this one. It is non-removable. There is no crazy midsection remove. We've got the captain's hat, which I like the captain's hat. That's pretty funny. And we've got more odd hands to add on. Very odd hands. They're creepy. They just don't look right, do they? I don't know, they just don't look right. Oh, and there's one more hat piece. If you're unsatisfied with the captain hat, which I like, or the gnome hat, the green floppy hat, we've got a chef hat, which, okay, I like that one a little bit better. I'm not sure why I don't like this one. So a much larger scale with this series, and I'm guessing they're supposed to go along with the Stamper series scale because that feels right in scale. They've got that same high gloss plastic design going with their bodies. The hand sculpts are the same, so this must be the same series. Which makes me recall the Stamper series also had that midsection I could never get apart. And I'm wondering if it's supposed to be the same thing and it just kind of melded together. It always felt so sketchy. I'm still too afraid to remove it, but this has to be, I assume, to be the same series, just now without the stamp pads, which were a really odd thing when you think about it. All you need is the figure, but this scale is just too big to really annoy yourself. Did I say to really annoy yourself? That's not really what I wanted to say. The scale is too big to really interact with. This scale size, a lot more fun, a little more durable with these, and the price point a little better, I think. And surprise, surprise, there is one more, and I don't think I'll open it just because I'm not really sure what to do with these. I almost kind of want to return it because it's just too much. We have the larger Series 2 pink crewmate with flamingo headpiece. And then there's a sailor Cyan with a sailor hat, which we already opened a Cyan today too. Another conference room table in the back, the same table. So it feels like overkill to open this. I'm gonna hold off. I do have one more crewmate mystery capsule character. I'd love to show these. These, I think, are my favorite because of the mystery. What is going on with these? There's multiple accessories and things and stages inside with these, so they're just fun. We're gonna try our hand at this. The downside is I've been having a lot of repeats, especially the red one. I think we had a few friends over and we opened a few of them up and they were all the same. So you start off with a little guide here. It's a little control panel and it's going to tell you by rubbing your thumb on it, is it the imposter or a crewmate? Impostor! Oh dear. Well, I hope it's a nice imposter. Still wants to wash windows? I don't know. So inside here, it's a Cyan. I don't think I've opened a Cyan capsule one yet, so that's exciting. I'm good with that one. How can it be an imposter though? We'll find out. And what's nice about the capsule series, again, is it's pretty closely scaled with this series. It's just a little bit larger, but without hands, but it's close enough to interact perfectly. So inside we've got several baggies. Can't remember what bag to open up first, and there's even some more baggies in the box here. You really have to be careful not to lose everything. So we'll start with this bag here. We've got a bone, we've got a backpack plate. Anything else? There's often things in here, so you really have to double check. We've got our backpack piece to make it an imposter, and I'll show you that in just a second. Nothing else in here. Ah, an imposter kit, which it's kind of sketchy, I'll show you. And a little bit of a plant base kit. These are the things you lose. Anytime it's a little cardboard cutout thing, it's kind of a big mia in my book. They're really easy to lose. Kind of good. Was it gonna stand up? It stands up. And the tongue piece. You know, looking at the box, this might be the mystery imposter actually, because the other Cyan has a Viking hat and a little UFO pet, and there is no other Cyan, so this is a imposter. Although I think we had a red imposter, so what they must do is take various colors and just turn them into an imposter. So you could probably get an imposter of any color. So a couple ways to do with this. You could kill your guy, just put the plate on here. There we go. And this piece right here is a backpack cover, just to kind of hide it. It's a little clunky in how they make this, and then yeah, he'd be dead. But this is an imposter design, so we can actually turn this into an imposter. Take the bone off, put the tongue on, remove the back, add in this back piece right here. And that back piece for your backpack gives you that open mouth angle. Now for the hard part is getting these strips to go around the front. And I think there's a couple ways to go with this. I think they're sticky if I remember, and you have to stick them around, and they really fight you the whole time. So I'm just gonna hold this to show you. It's just gonna be easier than attaching it, because they kind of come off too. I haven't been really pleased with how these teeth work. So you kind of stick them around the perimeter like so. Another way too, if you're NASA, you can kind of get them down inside the ridge between the plate and the tongue, and up around inside. If you are NASA and have a really good control of sticker placement, you can do that, but it is so difficult. So you can take the two lines of teeth and you go around. It's kind of a fun little afternoon rainy day project. It takes a while to do perfectly, and my patience is very thin with them because I've tried them before. But there you go. Now he's an imposter. Look at that. Oh, my dentures. Ooh, ow. Hello there. Aha, look at there. Obi-Wan Kenobi has challenged all 4 crewmates to a force pushing contest. Make that all 3 crewmates after he got his revenge on Orange. Purple goes first. Obi-Wan deflects. Cyan hits from back. Obi-Wan deflects again. Lime Green goes for electrical shock. That's not fair. Steady, steady, steady. Wow, Obi-Wan has just force kicked them all down. Although in the process seems to have rotated his knees. Going to need a Bacta tank for Obi-Wan. Anyone have a Bacta tank? Other Cyan blue crewmate indicates that his blood may be Bacta based. So Obi-Wan takes a dive inside. Was that weird? And that is Series 2 Among Us Crewmates. I would say Obi-Wan Kenobi way more force sensitive than these crewmates here today. What do you think? If you liked today's video, please give us a squike, a squirrel live, and a squammet. What is your favorite color crewmate that we saw today? Thank you so very much for watching. That's what I have to say about that.